The Cincinnati Bengals lost a tough one last week at home to the Dallas Cowboys. They had won 4 straight coming into the game. They were tied with Pittsburgh for the final wildcard spot in the AFC at 7-5. They had a 9-point lead with 7 minutes left, but could not hang on, Dallas winning 20-19. Fortunately for the Bengals, Pittsburgh also lost, so the Bengals still tied for the final wildcard spot in the AFC at 7-6 now. They go on the road on Thursday night to take on the Philadelphia Eagles, a team who's coming off a win, and more importantly, or at least a bigger surprise, the Eagles now 2 straight covers for the first time all season. Philadelphia has been the worst team in the entire NFL to back this year, 3-9-1 against the spread, even after covering 2 straight games. Cincinnati a 3 and 4 point favorite on BETDAQ here, both handicap markets being offered 45.5 the total. And this line strikes me as a little low because even though Philadelphia actually won last week, beating Tampa Bay on the road, and like we said, they've covered twice in a row, still tough to like what you're seeing with the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, Andy Reid, a lame duck head coach, basically. I think everybody at this point would be very surprised if Reid was coaching the Eagles week 1 next season. And Philadelphia just doesn't have that much in terms of playmakers on offense. I mean, Deshaun Jackson obviously on IR. He's out for the entire year. Jeremy Maclin will play in this game, but Brent Selleck sustained a concussion last week. He'll be out. LaShawn McCoy still out. Michael Vick, we know, shelved for the year, so they've been going with rookie Nick Foles. And even though Foles played well last week, 380 passing yards against the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Bucks have the worst secondary in the NFL, 32nd in pass defense, and Cincinnati has been playing really, really well on the defensive side of the ball. 6th in the NFL in total defense right now. The Bengals, in their 4-game winning streak that was snapped last week, they had not allowed any one of those opponents to score over 13 points, and they played very well on defense again last week until the final 7 minutes of the game. I mean, they really smothered the Dallas offense for 3.5 quarters. Philadelphia not good at all on offense this season, even when they had all their playmakers. 28th in the NFL in points scored. Really, that's probably the reason that Andy Reid will be shown the door at season's end, because it's Reid's offense. I mean, the offense is Reid's baby. He's already fired defensive coordinator Juan Castillo this year, defensive line coach Jim Washburn, and it hasn't helped the defense much. I mean, last week was the first time since Castillo's firing that the Eagles have held an opponent below 28 points. So even though Cincinnati's not necessarily explosive offensively, and I do think the under is not a bad play here. I would look at under 45.5 points. Hey, I expect the Cincinnati offense to score at least 24, 28 points against Philadelphia, and I look for Cincinnati to win this game. I guess I'm not bought into the Philadelphia Eagles. I think, obviously not bought in. They're 4-9. They snapped an 8-game losing streak last week, but just because they've played a little better the last couple of weeks, the same problems are still there. They're still not very good on offense. They're still starting a quarterback who seems to be in over his head. I know rookie running back Bryce Brown has played better. He's really given Philadelphia something in the absence of LaShawn McCoy. But as we mentioned, the Bengals have been playing very well on defense. This is a huge game for Cincinnati. I don't see them losing in this spot. And the Cincinnati -3 market was the first one put up. There has since been a Cincinnati -4 market up. I understand the movement in that direction. I still don't think 4 points is enough. I like Cincinnati to cover in this game. Philadelphia has been a great team to fade this year. We mentioned the worst team in the NFL to back at 3-9-1 against the spread, and they've been especially bad at home. 0-5-1 this year against the number at home. They've yet to cover at home. Cincinnati, meanwhile, 4-1 against the number on the road. This is a good team to back on the road, and I think those trends will continue on Thursday night. I do like the Bengals -3 on the road in Philadelphia.